Excitement is flowing throughout League One as 12 teams take their shot at a trophy. The Jägermeister Cup kicks off in the East Group with 2 teams with championship pedigree. Last year's finalists, the Charlotte Independents, and the League One champions from 2 years ago, South Georgia Tormenta. It's the inaugural USL Jägermeister Cup on ESPN Plus. Hello and welcome, I'm Ryan Lee. So happy to be with you today, and a lot of excitement is pouring out as the first edition of the Jägermeister Cup commences, and there is proof that goals are key, as goals scored are the primary tiebreaker should there be one in the standings. However, for ties after 90 minutes of play, that goes straight to penalty kicks, as the winner of a tie match will be determined by the shootout in a tournament that features regional groups, 8 matches for each team, 2 for each of the 3 teams within the group, and an extra 2 matches against non-group opponents. If they want to advance, they'll have to be master hunters as we take a look at the regional-based groups of the tournament. The East Group is where we are. Greenville Triumph has the most regular season wins. They host the Richmond Kickers, but more importantly, the Charlotte Independents will travel to Statesboro to take on South Georgia Tormenta FC. Tormenta's master of the hunt is none other than Gabriel Rodriguez. The 21-year-old Colombian takes the team lead in goal contributions and ties South Georgia's lead in goals. Rodriguez takes the starting 11 again tonight, as he has made his impact felt throughout his first season with South Georgia Tormenta's top team and in USL League One. Charlotte has their late addition, but he has not felt as such, as Juan Carlos Obregon has held his ground and steeped himself into the Independence lineup. The Honduran international has scored 3 goals in each of his last 3 matches across all competitions. He will look to stay ice cold in the first Jägermeister Cup with Charlotte. 12 teams take their shot at a new trophy. A new cup competition kicks off in the East Group between Charlotte Independents and South Georgia Tormenta. Kickoff and lineups coming up next.
I need to try it first.
My life before surgery was limited. A lot of times my husband would say, why don't you sit this one out and you stay home?
This procedure is groundbreaking because we're able to provide patients who have chronic low back pain with long-term, sometimes even permanent relief of their pain.
Normal people that don't have back pain don't understand what it is like to be so debilitated with leg pain and lower back pain.
The Clubhouse in Statesboro, Southeast Georgia's best place to play. The Clubhouse in Statesboro, where fun is done.
Hi, I'm Michelle Smith-Lang from Kids World Learning Center here in Statesboro, Georgia. Let us take care of all of your child care needs here at Kids World Learning Center, from your infants all the way to your after-schoolers. We also have a summer camp and holiday camp for those older children, and we have our brand new bus for our field trips, for the children to have fun and to learn and to explore new things all around our beautiful county. Thank you for trusting us with your most prized possessions.
At Savannah Hilton Head International, you can choose from 11 different airlines, including Southwest Airlines, Breeze Airways, and Avelo Airlines. With up to 70 daily nonstop departures and over 30 nonstop destinations, Savannah Hilton Head International gives you more choices for a travel plan that fits your needs. Savannah Hilton Head International. Visit flysav.com.
Jägermeister is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the inaugural USL Jägermeister Cup. Take a shot at glory and celebrate the magic of this exciting new tournament all year long. And please drink We are back here in Statesboro, Georgia at Tormenta Stadium, where South Georgia Tormenta and Charlotte Independence take the pitch for the inaugural Jägermeister Cup. South Georgia Tormenta, the champions of the 2022 League One final, while Charlotte Independence, they made the final a year ago. Both teams with championship pedigree, both teams with a couple of changes as well. Gabriel Rodriguez re-enters the starting 11. As we mentioned in the open, he leads the team in total goal contributions. He'll be in his third start against a League One opponent, while Daniel Steedman also enters the midfield in his 10th start against a League One opponent. Those are the only two changes for South Georgia Tormenta, while Charlotte Independence, they'll be having a pair of changes as well. Hugh Roberts will split out wide, while the 21-year-old Sorensen will come into the center of the back four, and Omar Sis will reintegrate himself into the starter. The two-time League One Young Player of the Year finalist takes the starting 11 for Mike Jeffrey's side. South Georgia Tormenta in the blacks. They'll start things off from right to left, while Charlotte Independence left to right in the all whites. Ryan Lee and our entire broadcast crew with you in Statesboro, Georgia, the inaugural Jägermeister Cup, a new League One Cup-style competition. We mentioned some of the rules and some of the nuances of this tournament in the open. With group play, this Eastern group with these two sides, Charlotte and Tormenta, with Greenville and Richmond, who are also commencing, as Jackson Corey enters into the box, wants a deflection but can't quite get it there. Fonseca serves across, has a Koto on the far side, but gets disrupted along the way. Doyle volleys that one, but blocked in front. Comes out of play as the first couple of opportunities come for the home side. Throw-in gets intercepted, and a quick takedown from Obregon, but it comes all the way back towards the back line and retreated all the way for Ford Parker. Probably one of the more underrated storylines that we never got the opportunity to touch on is it's a matchup of arguably the two best goalkeepers in League One right now, as Ford Parker, he leads all of League One in saves, and just behind him, creeping up on his tail, is Austin Pack. As Pack side Charlotte enters the offensive end is Trezor Mbuyu. Mbuyu, starter step, shoots, and that one gets absorbed by Parker. We spoke earlier about the goaltending matchup that we are going to see in this evening's match. And it's going to be something that both teams have really spoken about. Both Mike Jeffries and Ian Cameron spoke very highly of their respective netminders, talking about how they've been able to keep them within games, or they've really been that key piece to help them earn the results in certain matches. However, Ford Parker struggled a little bit the last time he was out. Conceded 3 goals versus Greenville, only stopped 1 shot of 4 for the Triumph. Now Koto holds up, waits for options. Deflected in front by Fonseca. Comes all the way back, drive in front, gets blocked again. Preston Kilwine recovers. Steedman. Tormenta look to break through the Charlotte line that has allowed the 3rd fewest goals in League One in regular season play, as Jackson Corey on the near side, getting washed by Alvarez. Joel Johnson steps in as well, and Johnson gets the intercept. Quick pursuit for Juan Carlos Obregon. He's getting dragged down by Jake Dangler. And Dangler essentially took the foul right out of the gate, and the booking only 3 minutes in.
In the 4th minute of play, yellow card issued to Tormenta FC number 25, Jake Dangler.
Jake Dangler getting the first yellow card, as it's just a little bit of contact with Obregon up the middle. We talked about him in the open, 3 goals across all competitions. just trying to deny that potential scoring threat. As a set piece comes up for Charlotte. Served into the box, headed up, no rebound provided. Steedman tries to get it out, but kept in by Mbuyu. Mbuyu centers, blocked in front, rebound! Dangler gets the leg out. Can't clear the zone quite yet as Strutch lets that one fall out of play. Goal kick for South Georgia. With this new League One Cup format, with these regional groups, every single team will get 2 shots at the other 3 teams within the group. So Tormenta will play Charlotte again at some point, going back to American Legion Memorial Stadium. They actually won't play again in this League One Cup format until late in July. But they'll also have home-and-home opportunities versus the other 2 teams in the group, Greenville and Richmond. And then every single team will get 2 cracks at another team outside of this Eastern group, whether that be the Central group or the group out west. Tormenta wants to drive this one up ahead, but it only comes back to Spielman. As Austin Pack delivers that one. Obregon takes a body, and Kilwine telling Parker to just clear that one away. Last touch off of Obregon, and will produce a throw-in for Tormenta. Entering in, and we'll just retreat that one back for Parker, but a miss hit by Steedman will provide the first corner kick opportunity for Charlotte. Luis Alvarez to take the corner. The first corner of the League One Cup. Sent in, headed in, scores! The first corner for Charlotte produces the first goal of the Jägermeister Cup. The Independents up 1-0. What a service by Luis Alvarez. Gets headed up in front, and who else? Juan Carlos Obregon with his 4th goal of the season across all competitions. Just a beautifully head into the box. Ford Parker with the hands up, just saying, what do you want me to do about that? And the Honduran showing his danger once more. Charlotte Independents, they've struggled to score goals in the regular season. They have the 3rd fewest in League One. They were shut out last week versus Omaha. But they get on the board early. When we asked Mike Jeffries about what Juan Carlos Obregon has done since joining the club in the middle of the season, he says he's been really good at finding room in his runs and getting involved in chances. And the quote that really emphasized by Coach Jeffries, which is he's always around somewhere. He's always involved in the play, no matter what it is, whether if it's on set pieces, on corner kicks like the one that we just saw, or if it's getting runs in. He's always getting involved. He's trying to chase Parker. Parker intercepted the other way by Alvarez, centering up, but cannot quite find a target. Pedro Fonseca dishes up for Rodriguez. He wanted to go end-to-end for Spangler, but gets deflected away. Dybbuk. Stretch pass coming, intercepted again by Tormenta. Overhead, too high for Jackson Corey. Throw-in goes for Charlotte. Joel Johnson looks to escape as it just gets distributed away for Omar Sis as he retreats to the back line. Spielman. A little bit of a stutter step and a strip for Akoto. Now an opportunity comes for Tormenta, just a little bit too far ahead for Rodriguez. Quick feed up ahead, and now chasing is Alvarez. Corey disrupts the route, however, so it just comes back for Parker. Juggled along center. Just comes right out of play. And we've essentially have gotten through 10 minutes of play. The opening goal from Juan Carlos Obregon in the 7th minute. And essentially with every single one of the coaches, we've asked them what their thoughts on the League One Cup were, and essentially the recurring theme came across is you never know what to expect with it's just League One teams getting involved. As Akoto gets involved as he receives the feed from Spangler. Akoto from wide gets held off by Pack. Austin Pack having to make his first save of the evening. As we just take another look, the wide angle shot from Akoto comes out wide, but Pack was able to swat that one down, as he's been so sharp for this regular season. He's been a part of that 2-1-1 regular season record for Charlotte. Got that 0-0 draw versus Omaha last week, was 6 for 6 in that match last Saturday, as Pack takes the ball all the way back. Austin Pack with the launch. And it comes right back for Sorensen. One v one. Closing in as that shot gets blocked by Doyle. Sis. Dybbuk plays this one all the way back for Spielman. And the back line will just continue the possession for the Independents. And when we asked Ian Cameron about his thoughts on the Independent, it was just talking about their athleticism throughout the entirety of the pitch, how strong their pace is, and how they have the ability to lure you into a false sense of security when you're in possession. And when they have the space, they will absolutely do what they can to try to maximize their opportunities. As Akoto takes down his man. And could this produce another booking? No, just a warning. A lot of interesting new wrinkles in this League One Cup. It's a new tournament, a new trophy to compete for throughout USL League One. We've been seeing this as not just an add-on to the US Open Cup, but essentially a new trend across American sports as well, with the NBA doing it this past regular season, and talks of the maybe NHL potentially adding one as well. But the in-season cup for League One, Alvarez wants to serve this one to the box, wants goal number 2, but Ford Parker is right there to collect. Doyle. He wears the armband as he distributes for Stretch. Connor Doyle had that essentially game-winning goal against the Richmond Kickers. He tries to send this one up as he's unable to find the feed, and it's intercepted again for Charlotte. Long pass, Obregon chasing. Obregon and Kilwine watching. Kilwine with the poke away. Obregon keeps it, and that one goes off of the backside of Jake Dangler. Corner kick number 2 for Charlotte. Juan Carlos Obregon, we've already seen him score a goal. We've been talking about his threat the entire way through. And he's been that way for a reason. Spent the last several years, last 4 years, in the USL Championship side of things, winning a player shield with the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. But now it's Sorensen on the corner. Low drive, headed away, still loose. Spangler walks away with it. Spangler gets barreled in front by Mbuyu and whistled down for the foul. Callum Stretch, watched by Mbuyu, comes all the way back for Ford Parker. Fonseca got tangled up with Dimmick, and Dimmick a little bit too aggressive on the challenge, and Corey wants to go quick. Quick little back heel, but Fonseca and Rodriguez not necessarily on the same page. Ford Parker eluding danger. How will this one go? Dimmick wins the header. Rodriguez back for Corey. Dangler and Corey, and you can just see that Charlotte defense just really pressing up every single time anyone in black touches the ball. And that was something that Tormenta has really been trying to keep an eye on, is just being able to handle the defense of Charlotte, understanding it's a very defensive heavy system. South Georgia Tormenta, however, they've been able to get their goals. They're top 3 in the league in terms of goals scored. However, they've also are in the top 5 in terms of most goals conceded. So the question is, which side of Tormenta are we going to see? As an interception was attempted against Charlotte, but once again, a little bit too much on that, so it provides a Tormenta set piece. Long ball, Nick Akoto. Akoto centering, Roberts get the block. And disrupted again by Sorensen. That one goes out of play. Throw in for Tormenta. Fed into the box, a little bit too high. Last nicked one of the players in white, so Tormenta will earn themselves another throw. Corey. Fonseca, return to Corey. Corey wants it long, but it goes off of Dimmick, out of play. First corner kick for the Ibises. And just a nice little give and go here. Jackson Corey trying to go for goal. He's usually the one distributing, but that time he got the shot off. Jackson Corey has the most goals from the 2023 roster that's still on the Tormenta roster. The other leading goal scorers for Tormenta last year moved on to USL Championship side. Jackson Corey, the last one remaining, tried the shot. Quick header off the corner. Retake from Doyle. Doyle with the drive. And that one finds its way across the ocean to France. Like a plane trip to the Olympics. Doyle wanted the header. Stretch couldn't quite get that one there, so Doyle tried for take number 2. And Callum Stretch trying to go for the header off of the corner. That's how he scored what eventually would become the game-winning goal against Miami FC in the Open Cup. Joel Johnson gets it back from Sis. And Spielman will just send that one away. A foot race, Johnson and Parker his first one there. Both teams have really had their opportunities coming in to this first 20 minutes of play. Austin Pack had to make a save or two. Ford Parker having to get on a couple balls, but it was a header from Juan Carlos Obregon to kick things off. That was in the 8th minute. Spangler trying to escape from danger, but just feeds this one away. Corey unable to win the foot race there. As things will just take a halt right towards the center line. Spangler, the distribution for Fonseca. Couldn't quite make its way there, so it's just going to get sent away by Pack. Quick stop at the halfway circle comes in favor of Charlotte. As a long ball comes up ahead, Alvarez is all alone. Corey, he's watching Alvarez. Dishes it back for Johnson. Centering for Sis. Back for Alvarez out wide. High arcer. Akoto having to disrupt before Mbuyu gets there. And the last one off Akoto, so a throw in favor of the Independents. Fonseca behind by Dimick, and Dimick too much. Ford Parker will just have to halt things, as both these two sides have really had their ebbs and flows throughout the regular season. As Alvarez settles it down, has it for Sis. Obregon leaves it for Alvarez. Alvarez into the box. Too high, away from stretch. Akoto into the box, takes a deflection, comes out of play. And another corner coming up for Tormenta. The first one had a scoring opportunity for Callum Stretch. But how will corner kick number 2 hold up? Into the box, headed down, couldn't get the deflection, it was blocked up in front. Corey, tussling, Alvarez, another corner. Tormenta with their third. That was Rodriguez who was on that last corner opportunity. He got the head on it, but it went off of a man up in front. And Doyle again. Quick header, Kilwine, a little bit too much. South Georgia Tormenta, they're in their last game of a 4-game homestand, if you include the Open Cup. And they've really struggled lately in League One play. They've had losses in 2 of their last 3 in League One play. They look to turn the tide today, 2-3-1 in the regular season coming into today. And they're looking to turn their fortunes around in this League One Cup. Nikakoto takes this one away at center, just gets a body along that far sideline. As Callum Stretch plays this one all the way back. Sorensen for Pack. Stretch with the disruption. But still for Charlotte, as Spielman fights for this one. Akoto goes down again. Akoto continues to jostle for it and earns another set piece for Tormenta. So in the Open Cup match versus Miami FC of the USL Championship side, part of what Tormenta was so good at least in that match, was their ability to take advantage of the set pieces, no matter where they came, whether if it came from deep, whether if it came from short range, corner kicks, all the way around. The set pieces were essentially the key in that Open Cup match if we want to talk tournaments. As they look to do so again, Spangler headed down, off of a body, rebound! Just too high for Rodriguez on the second swipe. We just talked about how good Tormenta has been on set pieces. That first touch by Stretch and then the second chance for Rodriguez goes up and over, and the goal kick for the Independents goes away from the leg of Sorensen. In the regular season standings for League One, there is a 3-way tie for 4th place, all at 7 points. There's Union Omaha, who Charlotte's last opponent was, where they had that 0-0 draw. That draw essentially launched both Charlotte and Omaha into 7 points in the standings. But sitting already there was South Georgia Tormenta in that draw between Charlotte and Omaha, put the 3 of them in a 3-way deadlock tie at 7 points in the standings. Akoto goes for a goal, but just a little bit too far out of the range of Austin Pack. And Buyu at center. Takes it from the long ball. We'll just send this one wide for Ryan JJ. As he sends this one all the way back for Hugh Roberts, who drives this one ahead. Johnson. Dimmick. He wears the armband for the Independents. As Charlotte continues to cycle this one around. Quick head down. Dangler playing with fire. And Dimmick will just play this one back for Johnson. Anton Sorensen comes back for Spielman. As that one pops up in the air, and Tormenta look to take advantage, stripped away. Half an hour into the match, 1-0 is the score. It's just a lone goal from Juan Carlos Obregon in the 8th minute. Off the header on a corner kick to take the advantage in Statesboro, where the only match Charlotte has played on the road in League One play was last week against Union Omaha. The inaugural USL Jägermeister Cup continues Saturday, May 11th, with the second round of games in group play starting at 1 p.m. Eastern. Watch all of the Jägermeister Cup games streaming exclusively on ESPN+. One of the most interesting dynamics of this Jägermeister Cup is how everything is both together and separate. Statistics are separate, team records are separate, but at the same time, all the teams are essentially the same, and there's a connectivity there between who plays whom. As Sorensen takes the interception, getting washed by Steedman, and Sorensen just takes this one all the way back. And Charlotte's head coach Mike Jeffries talked about the League One Cup. He said it creates a really interesting dynamic because there's an opportunity to go out there and potentially play with different focuses or maybe experiment with a thing here and there, depending on how these games are going. Because what's expected, generally speaking, is just that pushback, that ability to carry on no matter what the situation calls for. But with a very playoff-like dynamic, it adds a new wrinkle into what can potentially come about of this tournament and how things are going to go, not just in this group stage, but in the knockout stage as well, where it's 3 group leaders and the goal leader going into all 3 groups who did not win their respective groups. So it's the 3 group leaders who will make the knockout stage and the lone non-group leader who has scored the most goals. So that's another interesting wrinkle as well, where you might have a team who is maybe 4th in the tournament in terms of goals scored, but because they're the only team who didn't win their respective group, it puts them in the knockout stages. It's just proof that the goals are the #1 in this Jägermeister Cup. Both teams very much feeling each other out, aside from the one corner. As Fonseca knocks that one down for Rajmir Spangler. Return for Fonseca. Tormenta crawling forward as they're just trying to do anything to escape this shadow that is the Independents. Daniel Steedman. Kilwine. Steedman again, an ex-member of the Charlotte Independents back when they were still in the USL Championship. Receives the feed again. Looking for options. Stretch. Comes back for Steedman. And Tormenta struggling to find an alleyway. As Spangler comes out wide for Stretch. Stretch into the box. Not enough for Fonseca. And Joel Johnson finds Dimmick, and Dimmick sends it out. And the whistle goes for Charlotte's favor. And Jake Dangler, already on a yellow card in the 4th minute, takes that foul. And if Ian Cameron had anything to say about it, he'd be fortunate not to be down with 10 men with only 10 minutes to go in the half. Akoto gets Sorensen on his side, but it's offsides against Anton Sorensen. As that one gets sent in deep. Akoto. Spangler couldn't quite get the touch, but he should be fortunate that went off of Ryan JJ because it produces a Tormenta throw. Stretch tried for Steedman, but that one took a funny bounce as Steedman is fighting for it. Spangler gets shoved from behind, no call there. Back and forth it goes at center. Dangler forces that one out wide, has Corey who's able to collect. Jackson Corey into the middle, Pack with a stop. No rebound available as Spangler was a little bit too slow on that. So a nice opportunity here for Tormenta as Corey just trying to go for center, potentially a header there from Rodriguez or maybe Spangler on the follow-up. And that's what Tormenta essentially kind of have to do to try to get past Charlotte, is to try to slow down the counterattacks of Charlotte with a counterattack of their own. And essentially have to try to anticipate everything that's going to happen, because Charlotte kind of has this tendency to manipulate the game as play goes along. Coach Mike Jeffrey is very respected amongst the entirety of the USL and League One because of his ability to kind of adapt to his players and understand what they're best at. And kind of tailoring the system around that. So that's going to be the big puzzle here for Ian Cameron, is how can he kind of counteract that? What are the opportunities that have to be made in order to break through? As you can just see, every time someone in black touches the ball, there's someone in white kind of pushing in there and getting up in their face a little bit. As Fonseca having to go back for Kilwine. And that's going to be the big challenge for Tormenta going ahead. But Steedman going up ahead. Finds Corey again. Getting double teamed. Centering in front. But a little bit too much on that opportunity for the cross as it gets just sent away. Steedman wanting to charge ahead again. Corey. Fonseca. As Stretch on the far side. Steedman got picked off by Alvarez, so provides a possession opportunity for Charlotte. Sorensen having to retreat as Spangler just barely keeps it in play. About a half dozen minutes to go in the half plus stoppage. Charlotte with the 1-0 advantage over South Georgia Tormenta in Statesboro. Juan Carlos Obregon off of the header. As both of these two teams, they defeated USL Championship sides to get to the round of 32 in the US Open Cup. So both these teams have had tournament experience and recent tournament experience, and not just experience, but success as well. Okoto centering in front, deflection comes just wide. Gabriel Rodriguez on the touch-up off the feet of Okoto, and Ajmir Spangler. He's done such a good job feeding that one in to Okoto. Juan Rodriguez centering in front of the 6-yard box. But as he got tangled up with Spielman, it just goes a touch out of play. It's worth the 41st minute of 45 in half number 1. Select is the official match ball provider of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select is the player's choice. Preston Kilwine. A little bit too heavy of a touch for Fonseca. He tries to drag down Dimmick, and a little too aggressive on Dimmick for the last couple of times. This time, Dimmick is the one on the receiving end of an aggressive foul. Kilwine having to chase that ball out of play. He just chips this one up, and it comes out of play at the center mark. We keep talking about that previous game between Charlotte and Omaha, as Charlotte is one of 3 teams in League One that's on a 3+ game unbeaten streak in League One play. The other ones being Union Omaha, who we mentioned in that 0-0 draw, and forward Madison, who we will see in tomorrow's end of play whistle against Charlotte in favor of Tormenta at the center circle. Fonseca, Steedman. Steedman juggles in. Retreats for Kilwine. Corey. Wants Corey again. Just leaves it for Doyle. So Kilwine will try to direct traffic. Corey's gone for a cross a couple of times. How will play commence here? Sorensen and Okoto squaring off in the corner. And that one gets stripped away. And Buyu gets taken down. And the foul goes against Tormenta with the last just under 2 minutes. And then there's stoppage time aside from that. So of all the matches in the League One Cup to start things off, 5 games in totality, 4 today, 1 tomorrow. That's Spokane and Central Valley, Greenville and Richmond. 1 Knox heads its way for the visit towards the Chattanooga Red Wolves, and then tomorrow's match, Lexington SC versus Forward Madison. The League One champions from two years ago. trail the finalists from last year, Charlotte Independence. As we're in the 45th minute, the question is, how much longer are we going to go? Ball comes out of play in favor of the Independents. Corey disrupted. Last out on Alvarez. Trying to go quick for Rodriguez. Dimmick puts that one out. And a throw in for South Georgia again. Can Tormenta square up at the half? Kilwine. Back for Dangler. That pass went to no man's land, so it gets chipped up. Clay Dimmick headed down by Steedman. Steedman walks in, turns around. Corey, chip into the box. Too much for Rodriguez. And the last comes off of Sorensen, who will send this one out for a throw. 1 minute of stoppage time as we are in the 45th. Akoto leaves it for Stretch. Spangler wanted Doyle in the box, but Stretch keeps the play alive. Spangler overhead and right into the chest of a Charlotte player who clears. Corey returns for Kilwine, and essentially this will probably be the last chance of the half. And Jake Dangler touches up, and the official whistle blows. We are 1-0 in favor of the Charlotte Independents at the half. We'll have more from Statesboro coming up after this. It is 1-0 here in Statesboro, where the visiting Charlotte Independents have the 1-0 advantage over South Georgia Tormenta. Second half will hopefully produce more for the home side in the inaugural match of the Jägermeister Round 1 Cup.
Do you still know how to fix some of these things?
Bullock, man.
I'm building a team. Are you in?
I think Blue Lightning will want to come too.
You guys looking for real speed?
Hey, smart board, when you're done fixing that, Bullet County needs your help.
I need to try it first.
The Clubhouse in Statesboro, Southeast Georgia's best place to play. The Clubhouse in Statesboro, where fun is done.
My life before surgery was limited. A lot of times my husband would say, why don't you sit this one out and you stay home?
This procedure is groundbreaking because we're able to provide patients who have chronic low back pain with long-term, sometimes even permanent relief of their pain.
Normal people that don't have back pain don't understand what it is like to be so debilitated with leg pain and lower back pain.
We're back here in Tormenta Stadium in Statesboro, Georgia, where the Charlotte Independents have claimed a 1-0 lead versus South Georgia Tormenta, and there's been a lot happening in the first half, also a lot happening in week 7 of USL League One play as we start things off in Nebraska, where Union Omaha and Charlotte Independents They took 1 point apiece in a scoreless draw where the Owls and the Jacks were back and forth, where Austin Pack and Rashid Nuhu were perfect the entire way through to earn each team a point to provide a three-way tie at 7 points apiece in the League One standings, which provides them all at 4th place. Both Charlotte and Omaha have 2 wins apiece and 7 points. Richmond and Spokane, they squared off last week as well. Spokane Velocity with the 2 points, with the 2 goals and the 3 points to launch themselves into 2nd place in the USL League One standings. They currently sit only 3 points behind Greenville Triumph, who sit at 1st place. And Spokane in their inaugural season, 3-2-1 to start things off in 2024. We see that back and forth scrap between Spokane and Richmond. And at the end of the day, it's all game recognized game. And as Chattanooga and Northern Colorado, each team have had their respective struggles, but neither team really struggled to find the back of the net, as both the Red Wolves and the Hailstorm were able to do so at least one time apiece, giving each of them a draw. Colorado Hailstorm still looking for their first win in League One play. They are 0-2-2, while Chattanooga, this tie in their 3rd game, brings them at 1-1-1. So they are square across the board. Lots of ones across the board when you're a Chattanooga Red Wolves fan. And South Georgia Tormenta, they've allowed 4 goals consecutively as they struggled in a 3-0 shutout versus Greenville Triumph. Greenville was absolutely excellent in this match, with the leading goal scorer in the entirety of League One, Liam McKinnon, leading the way. And Greenville, with 13 points in the standings, puts them at the most points in League One, the highest goal differential, the most goals scored. They're essentially that team to beat the Greenville Triumph. They walk away 3-0. That's exactly how the points in the standings went out as well. 3 for Greenville, none for Tormenta, to launch Greenville up to 13 points in the standings, where they are 4-1-1 after 6 matches played.
The best nights start with Jägermeister. Made with 56 botanicals. Always served ice cold.
Take a miracle to come back from this. Heartbreaking end to the season. But what's this?
For the moments when anticipation
Clock's counting down. 5 seconds. 3, 2.
becomes celebration. Jägermeister. Meister the moment.
Distance, oh, what an effort, and it's special.
Machoma fires!
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Hi, I'm Michelle Smith-Lang from Kids World Learning Center here in Statesboro, Georgia. Let us take care of all of your childcare needs here at Kids World Learning Center, from your infants all the way to your after-schoolers. We also have a summer camp and holiday camp for those older children. And we have our brand new bus for our field trips, for the children to have fun and to learn and to explore new things all around our beautiful county. Thank you for trusting us with your most prized possessions.
Once again in Statesboro, Georgia, where the home side, South Georgia Tormenta, trails the Charlotte Independence by a score of 1-0 off of a Juan Carlos Obregon header off a corner kick in the 8th minute, as we take a look at what's been happening across the entirety of the USL Championship and USL League One, as Portland will see Maine's first professional soccer team in the USL League One starting in 2025, as we talk about expansion across both USLC and USL League One, with the Texoma franchise coming up and Portland, Maine. We've also seen the Buffalo franchise coming out of USLC. It's just expansion all the way around. And for the US Open Cup, 3 USL League One Cups advancing to the round of 32, kicking off on May 7th and 8th. Union Omaha receiving the lone home draw. They'll be hosting Sporting Kansas City of the MLS, while Charlotte Independence will take on Atlanta United of the MLS, and Charleston Battery will come against South Georgia Tormenta as well. And Lexington SC acquired Fuego FC's all-time goal contributions leader, Alexis Carritos, a transfer from the MLS Next Pro. The question for Alexis Carritos is how will he fit in with Lexington SC, and if he is even going to be in the lineup for Lexington SC in their lineup tomorrow versus forward Madison in the lone League One game tomorrow afternoon. As we take a look at the scoreboard across the Jägermeister Cup, Spokane and Central Valley, if no one breaks through in that match, that's going to go straight to penalty kicks if nothing is able to commence out of there. Chattanooga Red Wolves and 1 Knoxville, they're about 20 minutes deep into that match, where that is scoreless over in Chattanooga, and the Greenville Triumph and Richmond Kickers, the only other match in the Eastern Group, is also scoreless as well. So far, this emphasis on goals, maybe not necessarily there yet, but that's only a matter of time, while Omaha and Northern Colorado play off on Wednesday, and Lexington and Madison are up tomorrow. Expect us and our crew there next week. Well, next week for round 2 of the Jägermeister Cup on the 11th, all 12 teams will be going at the same time, and we will have 6 matches across the board, starting off with some matinee soccer with Forward Madison and Charlotte Independent. That's going to be in cross-conference matchup between the Central Divisions, Forward Madison, and the Eastern Conferences, Charlotte Independence. Greenville and South Georgia Tormenta, that'll be an Eastern Conference matchup as well. So we will see both these teams in action, along with the entirety of League One next week in round number 2 of the Jägermeister Cup.
My life before surgery was limited. A lot of times my husband would say, why don't you sit this one out and you stay home?
This procedure is groundbreaking because we're able to provide patients who have chronic low back pain with long-term, sometimes even permanent relief of their pain.
Normal people that don't have back pain don't understand what it is like to be so debilitated with leg pain and lower back pain.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it, will be to save Bullock County from slow internet. To do so, you must recruit an exceptional tech team. They must be fast, reliable, and absolutely fearless. Time is of the essence. Bullock's internet is dependent on your success.
I need to try it first.
The Clubhouse in Statesboro, Southeast Georgia's best place to play. The Clubhouse in Statesboro, where fun is done.
Jägermeister is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the inaugural USL Jägermeister Cup. Take a shot at glory and celebrate the magic of this exciting new tournament all year long. And please drink responsibly. back in Statesboro, Georgia, where South Georgia Tormenta are looking to erase a 1-0 deficit against the Charlotte Independents, who scored within the first 10 minutes of play. And let's see how we got to this point at half as we take a look at the halftime highlights throughout 45. And the first opportunity was taken here by Tormenta, and it's not that Tormenta hasn't had a chance, it's just that they haven't necessarily been what they wanted them to be, as this opportunity here from Jägermeister Spangler is one of the first true opportunities there. Goes off of stretch, the second chance for Rodriguez, goes right over the goal, and another chance here, that rocket of a leg from Jake Dangler comes out wide for Corey. He tried to cross that one in, but Pack gets the deflection. And the second chance was covered up by Pack as well, but this was the icebreaker. A header from Juan Carlos Obregon off of the feed from the Alvarez corner, and Jackson Corey could only do so much as the 26-year-old Juan Carlos Obregon opened things up in the 8 minutes of play. That's the lone goal to speak of. And as we look at the highlights, let's look at the numbers. And with Tormenta, they're getting the opportunities there. They're just not necessarily the shots on net that you want. And that's something that we've kind of seen with Tormenta time and time again. In their match versus Greenville, they had 12 shot attempts and 2 shots on goal. So the struggle with Tormenta is not their shot attempts, it's getting them on net. And we've really seen that with possession and the shot numbers, and they've been getting those opportunities off the corner as well. And with Charlotte, however, they're not necessarily getting a lot of chances. They've really struggled to get possession the last couple of games. They spent their last 3 games consecutively with under 40% possession. But whenever they get those opportunities, whenever they get that ball in the general direction of Ford Parker's net, it's a threatening opportunity. They were able to get one off with a corner kick right out of the gate. So we can really see how these dynamics play out. Can South Georgia Tormenta finally get some chances to threaten Austin Pack? And can Charlotte continue just pushing their way through, getting high danger opportunity after high danger opportunity? It's a question of what are we going to see from these two teams coming out of the half. As the two teams swap sides, Charlotte Independents, in the second half, they will start things off from right to left. Tormenta will go from left to right to start off half number 2. As we start things off for the second set of 45 in Tormenta Stadium. So far in the regular season, Charlotte Independents have been perfect when scoring first. That's how they got each of their first 2 victories versus Spokane and versus Greenville, by getting the first goal on the board, essentially up and out of the way. And across all competitions, Tormenta, whenever they've conceded the first goal, that's accounted for their 3 non-winning results. This is a turnover here for Jägermeister Spangler. He looks to make something go. Spangler looks for options. Spangler drives! Pack with a denial. Rodriguez with the recovery. Rodriguez was getting eyed by Omar Sis, but let that one fly out of play. And Tormenta looking to fly out of the gate as Spangler wanted that goal from wide. As Tormenta plays this one up in the Charlotte end to start off the first minute of the second half. Chip up ahead, Akoto, Spangler, Spinorama shot! Stopped by Pack. Corey can't get the second touch, but he gets the corner anyways as the last deflected off of the Independents. Some nice passing here for Tormenta. They were just trying to start things off, flying right out of the gates as they got 2 shot opportunities and 2 saves having to be forced out by Austin Pack to start things off only a minute and a half into the half. As Nikakoto's a little bit slow to get up, he's stuck on the ground. He's one of 4 players on the South Georgia Tormenta side if you exclude Ford Parker. One of 4 field players who has played in and has started in each of the 6 regular season matches for South Georgia Tormenta. And if you exclude goaltending, he is one of only 2 players to play in every single minute of regular season play. The other one being Jake Dangler, but he was subbed off in the 89th minute in one of their matches earlier on, so it looks like there's a possibility that with conditioning, we heard this from Ian Cameron, how this could potentially play a factor with all of the games played in the Open Cup, those midweek games, how potential fatigue can play a role in recovery time, not necessarily there. It's just managing the workload, starting to rear its ugly head with all of the matches that these 2 teams have played, and it looks like the primary substitution of this match will come out. First substitution for South Georgia Tormenta comes right after the half. Joshua Ramos comes in for Nikakoto, and a corner kick comes for Tormenta. Low drive, deflected, bobbles up in front but comes out of play. That's a goal kick for Austin Pack. He elects to go quick. So that's the first time of the season that Nikakoto has gotten subbed out. And Joshua Ramos, he was subbed in late in the Open Cup match versus Miami FC. Played his first match of League One a couple of matches ago versus Knoxville. And he's had some success in his career at only 23 years old. In his first season with South Georgia Tormenta, plays internationally with the U.S. Virgin Islands national team. Looks to make his impact right out of the gate. But right now it's Ajmir Spangler with possession. He splits out wide for Corey. Spangler again, getting pestered by Sis. And Corey has to look out. He's got Joel Johnson watching him, and a strip away from the Independents. Ryan Lee and our entire ESPN Plus crew for the inaugural USL Jägermeister Cup. Charlotte Independents and South Georgia Tormenta in the Eastern Division. Between these 2 sides, Greenville Triumph and Richmond Kickers. One of 4 matches this afternoon in the Jägermeister Cup. And there's one more match coming tomorrow between Lexington and Madison, and one match on Wednesday as well. Tormenta trying to get out of their own end, and Steven just launches this one away. Spielman gets disrupted by Rodriguez, out of play. We have a long stoppage in play after the deflection on the little one-on-one with Rodriguez and Spielman. And there's another Tormenta player down on the pitch, so we've already seen Akoto come out due to injury earlier, with Ramos coming in. And this could potentially not necessarily work in the favor of Ian Cameron and South Georgia Tormenta, as they've already had to use one substitution due to injury. I'm not sure if Ian Cameron wants to force a second one. Appears to be Jake Dangler. Yes, it is. he's going to be very slow to get up. So just as we talked about Akoto and Dangler essentially playing all the minutes in regular season play, Akoto comes off, and looks like Dangler might as well. Jake Dangler appears to be coming off of the pitch on the 53rd minute. Niall Watson will look to take his place. So Jake Dangler comes out, Niall Watson comes in, 23-year-old from England. He ties the team lead in goals with Gabriel Rodriguez. And that's just a good old-fashioned announcer's curse right there. Just when I talk about Akoto and Dangler playing essentially all the minutes for Tormenta, they both get subbed out due to injury. I'm sure Ian Cameron's probably not going to be happy about that one. Preston Kilwine having to poke this one all the way back for Callum Stretch. And now the big question for Tormenta is how will they adjust things with Niall Watson being more of an attacking midfielder and at times playing forward as well, and Joshua Ramos having to play on the defensive side. Who drops back? Who plays up? Looks like Connor Doyle might be trying to fill in that role a little bit on that back line. Centering feed for Alvarez, wants him Booyoo, but Doyle is able to clear. Capped in by Joel Johnson. Centering into the box, headed on, but Ford Parker with the stop. Ten minutes into the half. Tormenta have yet to cut into the 1-0 deficit that they face against the Charlotte Independents. Corey tries to go up and over before he takes contact. For a tournament that really tries to put its emphasis on goal scoring, it's really been a little hard to come by so far in this day one of the Jaeger Cup, as Triumph and Kickers are currently stuck at 0-0. The Red Wolves and one Knoxville haven't scored a goal yet. Only one to speak of here in Spokane and Central Valley. That one ended 1 apiece, with Central Valley taking the win in penalties. But just like all new competitions, there's a little bit of a learning curve as a little bit of contact comes against Fonseca, as Sorensen was a little bit too aggressive on that one. And essentially both head coaches, they mentioned that when we had the opportunity to speak to them about this new tournament, is that there's a lot of things to uncover, trying to figure out what to change, figuring out what to keep the same. There's no great sense of what to expect from either club. But Fonseca drops it off. Long range shot from Rodriguez, but that one gets sent up and over. That was another scoring opportunity there for South Georgia Tormenta, and they've really tried to make things work. Kind of goes back to that overall theme that I mentioned at the half, is the number of opportunities versus the number of opportunities on net. As it stands, Tormenta has 9 shot attempts but 2 on net, versus Charlotte, who have 2 shots on net as well, but they're only off of 4 attempts. So when you just kind of chalk it off to how these possession and how the opportunities have come, it's about maximizing and trying to make things as dangerous as possible. Another short wrinkle I've noticed is that Fonseca's been playing a little more in the midfield, while now Watson is kind of in this more true spot coming up. This is where he's made so much danger going up. Now Watson as he just got subbed in about 4 minutes ago. He created that havoc in essentially every single match that he's played. Charlotte's the one playing this ball up as they're across the center line. Omar Sis, a little bit too far for Mbuyu, so Kilwine will clear. Obregon is able to stop the clear, so Alvarez wants to drive this one ahead. Stretch, disrupts, comes back to him anyways. Callum stretches up. Steedman trying to find a man. A little bit too high for Corey, so it becomes a Charlotte throw. Charlotte look to continue advancing as it comes for Mbuyu, but he retrieves this one back for Dimmick. Long stretch pass ahead, touched up by JJ, and Spangler fumbles it. JJ recovers. Back for Sorensen. Sorensen gets that one sent out off the slide from Ramos. And the Independents have been so good defending. They have back-to-back clean sheets in League One play, and the Jacks have not allowed a goal in the first half to a League One opponent all season. And they kept that trend going by taking the 1-0 advantage at the half. Spangler can't quite get it out. Second chance for Ramos comes out for Fonseca. Rodriguez looking for available options. And Spangler just plays that one wide across. Bobble at center, Corey charges up ahead. Rodriguez chips it up, and now he's got a man one-on-one. Watson, but the flag comes up. Niall Watson was looking for another goal to add to his tally. But at the hour mark, just comes up. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157. North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more. All on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Hour deep into this 1-0 match between Charlotte and Tormenta. The Tormenta has had about 3/5 of the possession so far. Two substitutions in favor of Tormenta versus Charlotte, who have yet to take one. As Steedman was just trying to get away from Ryan JJ, but JJ forced Steedman to play that one on the end line, so it provides a throw-in for the Independents. Nice back heel, comes back for Sorensen. Finds a delivery for Spielman. Mbuyu. Mbuyu up in front. A quick tangle up. Nothing going to be called by the officiating crew as Fonseca takes it back and wants to launch it, but too far for Watson. Obregon and Doyle at center. Comes right back to Charlotte's defense. And Charlotte, they're in the middle of a stretch of 4 straight games on the road. After this, they head to Central Valley all the way on the West Coast on the 3rd before taking on Atlanta United in the ATL for an Open Cup match versus the MLS side. And finally, they'll be able to come back to North Carolina to get some time at home where they'll host Forward Madison and Union Omaha in back-to-back weeks, but that Madison game is going to be a part of the Jägermeister Cup. There'll be a game that is within the new rules outside of the regional divisions. So that match versus Madison for Charlotte midway through May will be the first of 2 out of division matches for Charlotte as Kilwine looks to direct traffic. He has Watson. Fonseca. Fonseca just too high. But this is kind of what I've meant for South Georgia Tormenta. They're getting offense. They're getting those opportunities upfield. It's just that they haven't hit the net. They haven't even necessarily maybe hit a crossbar or hit a post. Those opportunities have been hard to come by when you have such a lockdown team like Charlotte Independence, being one of 7 teams with 2 clean sheets. And it's not even just that they play a very defensive style, so they play a very clean game. They have the least number of yellow cards, bottom 5 in the league in fouls, versus a team like Tormenta, who in the regular season have the most fouls and yellow cards. But they also take the most shot attempts. And that could be a potential as to why some of their opportunities haven't necessarily hit the net so far. While Charlotte, they're tied for the second fewest shot attempts taken across League One teams. But the thing is that they've been able to get their opportunities on net. As Daniel Steedman is a little slow to get up, as he took a crash. We take another look at what happened here. He's just a little bit too far there, and Steedman, oh! He took a swing at the leg up high from Ryan JJ. '65th minute between South Georgia Tormenta and Charlotte Independence. Off of the set piece, nothing able to be provided, so it just comes up as a scrap at center where Tormenta will take over. Gabriel Rodriguez, Jackson Corey wants to accelerate, but he is thwarted along the way by Luis Alvarez. There's going to be a multitude of changes coming up for the Independents. 5 minutes past the hour. Looks like there might be a couple for Tormenta as well, as we'll see the return of Gabriel Oberton. You'll also have the entrance of Bashir and Jai and Carlton Belmar as well. So you have 3 strikers essentially taking over for Charlotte Independence. As Carlton Belmar, as we saw on the video board, takes over for Ryan JJ. And we might have some changes for Tormenta as well. Trezor Mbuyu comes out in favor of Gabriel Oberton, who comes off of the bench for the first time since taking a collision in the opening match versus Knoxville. He's been out on injury since and just now gets an opportunity to come back after week 1. And then Bashir and Jai, the 25-year-old from Senegal, he takes over for Luis Alvarez. And now we'll have the changes for South Georgia Tormenta. Sebastian Vivas will take the place of Gabriel Rodriguez. Also have another couple of changes as well, as Mason Tunbridge will replace Jackson Corey. And Tavia Dalmeida enters the match as well, as Daniel Steedman will exit. So that is 6 changes in essentially the span of a minute. So in the 67th minute, 3 changes for Charlotte Independence. That's their first 3 couple of changes. And then for South Georgia Tormenta, that is their change numbers 3, 4, and 5. Oberton gets his first touch since returning from injury. Oberton into the box. Oberton gets his shot blocked in front by Dalmeida. Vivas returns for Ramos, and he gets taken down aggressively on the attempt from Sorensen. And despite the amount of physicality that both these teams have displayed, only 1 yellow card to show of that was given to Jake Dangler back in the 4th minute. Mason Tunbridge pursuing, but he goes a little too aggressive. So that one comes all the way back from Nick Spielman. And a little bit too far, so Dalmeida has to come down. So this could potentially be a tactical change for Ian Cameron as well, knowing that 2 of his top defenders and 2 of his most reliable defenders in Akoto and Dangler are out of the match. So having guys in like Tavio Dalmeida who can help alleviate some of the defensive pressure, and some of the guys on offense just haven't necessarily been providing the goods. Corey and Rodriguez, they've gotten their chances, but the more chance they got, they've kind of shown that little fatigue a little bit. So that's why he put on guys like Vivas and Tunbridge, who are very fresh, essentially. As Fonseca takes this one. To Doyle. Dalmeida steps up. And that one comes all the way back for a throw. A turnover for Charlotte provides an opportunity. Joel Johnson centering, but no one was available. Tormenta calling for an offside anyways, but regardless, they reclaim possession. Ramos, some fancy footwork on Sorensen, and couldn't quite get Watson in the right direction. So Austin Pack just has to take this one. Charlotte up wide, shot, rebound, scores, but that one most likely is getting whistled down. You can tell off the facial expression. It's offside. Opportunity for Carlton Belmar to score off the bench, but couldn't quite do it. Carlton Belmar is a 3-time double-digit goal scorer in the USL Championship. And he's been so successful that he's made the national team with Grenada. And he's even played a couple matches with them, the 2022 World Cup qualifiers. Over 20 minutes to the end of regulation, and for Tormenta, the question is, can you at least draw a level here to force penalties as the issue? Watson couldn't quite get the touch on it, but comes right back for now Watson anyways. Watson poked away by Roberts, but collects again. Sent into the box, had it up, and Ramos couldn't get the swing on it. He takes a collision as that looks like it's Anton Sorensen who's slow to get up. Referees call a foul on Ramos. And now Watson got a fortunate touch back and just got lofted into the box. Fortunate header, and Ramos tried to get the swing on it, but it was first touched up by Anton Sorensen. And if you're Joshua Ramos, I'm not exactly sure what you do in a situation like that. You're kind of just going for the swing, and Sorensen just got there first. Maybe the header would have been a cleaner selection, but Ramos looked like he wasn't necessarily trying to go for a goal. He might have been trying to go for a centering feed. But we've been just seeing how much physicality has been brought about for both of these two sides. And we've been seeing the injury subs becoming an issue for South Georgia Tormenta. Now they're accumulating for Charlotte Independence as well, as Noah Palito is most likely going to be the one taking the spots for Anton Sorensen. Looks like Palito's actually going to be coming off as Omar Sis exits. He might be trying to test out Sorensen to potentially get him to return at a later point, which is a very interesting move by Mike Jeffries, who has been so solid in League One every single time he's been around with the Independents. And the Independents give the ball away as it's dropped off. Mason Tunbridge, he accelerates. Tunbridge centers. Tunbridge with a shot, but it gets deflected off of a leg, so it trickles very slowly for Austin Pack. There goes the return of Anton Sorensen. .50-50 ball, juggling around, no one able to get it clean. And it's kept in by Tormenta. Tunbridge wanted Watson, bobbled up in the air. No one quite able to get on it. Dimmick is slow to get up. He takes a tumble. Another crash comes right outside of the box, and it's a set piece in favor of Tormenta just outside the Charlotte box. Spielman gets called down for the whistle as he banged right into Pedro Fonseca. And if there's an opportunity for South Georgia to strike, this is potentially it, as Spielman, got his legs tangled up in Fonseca before Fonseca tried to go for the leap. Fonseca trying to test things out, but it's a little bit of a sticky situation if you're Ian Cameron because you've run out of subs. Spangler stands on the ball with Fonseca, with 6 on the wall for Charlotte. Is this the chance for Tormenta to draw level? 77 minutes in. Spangler blocked by the wall. Spangler keeps the play alive. He's trying to get out, and that one just gets sent out of play by Charlotte for a throw. So as Fonseca was a little slow on the last play, good to see him getting a nice jog in. Puts Ian Cameron in a sticky situation because there's no subs available, as they've already used up all 5. We crossed the 77-minute mark in a Charlotte 1-0 game. High ball, headed up. Belmar chips it along. Overton goes right for Dalmeida, and he tries to alleviate the pressure with Kilwine. Spangler. Wanted to center for Vivas, but Tunbridge has to come back for it. Tunbridge into the box again, but knocked down by Johnson. A quick counterattack for Charlotte. Chasing is Belmar, just able to save it off the line. Oberton scrapping with Kilwine. And that one just comes corner to corner as he's able to hit Obregon. Obregon for Oberton. Pack sends this one away for Sorensen. Charlotte continue to press on as we're in the final dozen minutes. Chip shot up ahead, but the flag goes up just before the run was made by Clay Dimmick. So Charlotte looking to take advantage of the counterattack, same way Tormenta did earlier. Both sides just kind of going chance for chance. 13 shot attempts is now the total for South Georgia, 5 for Charlotte. The only difference is that South Georgia now has a advantage on shots on net, 3-2. Dalmeda, Tonbridge. Finds its way for Ajmer Spangler. Watson comes all the way back for Tormenta's back line, so Dalmeda is looking for an opportunity. He finds Ramos. Tonbridge. Final 10 minutes of regulation. Can Tormenta potentially draw level and force this thing to a shootout? Dalmeda. Just a little over 60% possession in favor of Tormenta, as that one for Ramos just comes off of the head of Sorensen. Throw-in goes up. Watson, watched by Roberts. Ramos will let that one fly out of bounds for another throw. Fonseca walks in. Fonseca! That one gets blocked in front. Roberts clears that one away from the box. Doyle wants to keep it in, but it's intercepted by Njai. Bashir Njai, the substitute, wants to make his impact, but just comes back for Johnson anyways. Oberton able to get the deflection off of South Georgia Tormenta, so the Independents got a throw. Gabriel Oberton, the 35-year-old from France, has really struggled to get on the pitch this season in 2024. We talked about him getting knocked out due to injury in that opening match versus Knoxville. Hasn't been back on the pitch since. This is his first action as he pursues Tunbridge. And he's had a litany of injuries with his time with Newcastle United, and also when he was in the Russian league. He was marred by injuries numerous times throughout his career, but he finds his way back to North Carolina in his 4th season with the Independents. as he takes the ball back, sweeps it away. Callum Stretch racing against Johnson, but Stretch is there first. Kilwine able to evade. And Almeida wants to start the attack. Watson. Doyle. Blocked in front. Kept alive by Tunbridge. And Tunbridge goes down. Whistle goes against Carlton Belmar. The whistle against the ex-VCU Ram as Doyle looks to take over. Kilwine. Spangler. Final 7 plus stoppage. Fonseca. What can Tormenta do here to erase this 1-0 deficit that they've amassed in only the 8th minute of play? Dalmeida drives this one up ahead. Watson unable to corral. And Charlotte. Obregon able to disrupt the flow of Tormenta's attack. As Obregon chips this one ahead. An almost missed hit from Connor Doyle. And a takedown from behind. It's Sorensen on Fonseca. And with this cup competition, considering how many fouls there have been, I'm surprised there haven't been more cards. Only the one yellow to speak of. But a whopping 23 total fouls in the one card. Oberton for Obregon. Obregon falls on his own 2 feet and it provides an opportunity for Mason Tunbridge. Tunbridge gets tangled up by his own 2 feet, so it does a blind spinorama pass. Belmar, Johnson. A clip up for Obregon for Oberton. Gabriel Oberton, Belmar. In the 85th minute, comes out wide for Sorensen. Only 5 shot attempts for Charlotte, but 2 on net, and one of them beating Ford Parker. A corner kick from Luis Alvarez, headed in by Juan Carlos Obregon. eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Bashir Njai enters in. Njai, Obregon. Spangler has to turn around. Joel Johnson just retreats this one. So now a little bit of gamesmanship for the Independents as Noah Pilato takes this one all the way back for Spielman. Potentially just wanting to eat away at the clock instead of maybe trying to go for the nail in the coffin to double up on their lead. And one final change for Mike Jeffries as Isaac Shear will come in to replace the goal scorer, Juan Carlos Obregon. It's the 87th minute. Isaac Shear, 18 years old, a North Carolina native. His second season with the Independents. Only playing in 4 matches in the regular season thus far in his League One career. He takes the ball all the way back as it finds Hugh Roberts. High elevation up. Oberton keeps this one in play for Charlotte. Bellato. Oberton. Out wide, fed into the box. Headed away by Dalmeida. Fonseca looking to deny the second opportunity for Bellato. And Dalmeida will just send this one up for Watson, and Watson gets wrapped up, and Vivas takes a crash from behind as well. Arnell Selman really letting things fly as both Watson and Vivas took really aggressive fouls, not just consecutively, but simultaneously. And no cards have been given, only fouls. As another foul commits on the far side, no whistle. Charlotte takes over. Oberton out of play. The USL Championship is on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. One minute in regulation, plus some stoppage. A little too far for Isaac Shear, but it gets recovered anyways. Doyle. And Bellato comes down. No call, throw in Tormenta. With this Jägermeister Cup competition, perhaps the officiating is a little more playoff-like as well. But they're gonna let things fly a little more, let the physicality continue on. As we're in the final minute of regulation. Can Tormenta force this to penalties? Just chipping this one up along to reduce any more threats on the press. Spielman gets disrupted by Ramos. We're at the 90th minute, and we're going to tack on another 6. Bellato stopped in front by Stretch. Tunbridge spin and fire. Watson has Spangler along the far side. Spangler wants to feed this one ahead. Now Watson! Austin Pack comes off his line. Niall Watson had a chance to make a run with Ajmir Spangler, but Austin Pack had to make a choice. Sit back and let Watson take it, or just say, fine, I'll do it myself, and that's exactly what he did. Austin Pack is under a goal per game against average on the season. He's had a pair of clean sheets and 4 matches started in 2024. Can he make it a 3rd and 5? Back and forth they go. Chipped all the way up for Tormenta. And Roberts send this one up. Not enough juice on it for Spangler. But it comes back for Vivas. Spangler has some green grass ahead of him. Wants the streak for Watson. And Watson gets stopped by Roberts. Clean tackle from Hugh Roberts, as that was all ball. Kilwine sends this one in. No deflection available, and a near own goal for Sorensen. Pack had to make the stop on that one. But a corner kick comes up for Tormenta. Their 5th has a potential to level this game. And Kilwine sent that one, wanted the back post for Ramos. And a near disastrous miscue by Anton Sorensen. That almost cost Charlotte a chance to just end it in regulation, but now Tunbridge takes the corner. The 5th for Tormenta, headed in, scores! We're tied! side! Sebastian Vivas! This was the chance for Tormenta to draw level. They've been great on set pieces all night. Sebastian Vivas scored on the corner versus Lexington. He scores on the corner against Charlotte. We're level at 1 in the 90+3. Tormenta's been threatening all second half. They've been getting opportunity after opportunity. 7 shot attempts in the second half. 3 have gone on net. That's their 15th shot attempt of the game, and they finally get one past Austin Pack. Spielman lofts this one all the way up. Can either team potentially try to close this one in regulation? Fonseca evades Pilato, but the second opportunity comes across the line. Two minutes to go in the half. And a little bit of a scrap back and forth between Dalmeida and Shear, but a set piece for Charlotte could potentially break this tie. Isaac Shear, Anton Sorensen stand over the ball. 2 is what Charlotte is looking for with 2 minutes left to go in stoppage. Shear with the service, headed away from Vivas. Vivas has been so good with that head all night as he looks to advance things for Tunbridge. Tunbridge looking for Spangler, but too far. Out of the reach. Fonseca looking to fight before it crosses the line, and Fonseca might have kept that one in. Sorensen with the slide tackle out of play. So Charlotte wanted the whistle, they didn't get it, and now the 6th corner kick opportunity for Tormenta. Could they not only take the tie, but take the lead and the win? Mason Tunbridge stands over it. 90+6, we're at 96. 1-1 match between Tormenta and Charlotte. Tunbridge headed out, corner number 7. And now we're at take 2. High archer, headed down, but Pack is right there. Callum Stretch had to elevate. Pack is calling to just end regulation right there as the official Selman looks at his watch. Johnson up for overtime. Has Belmar for overtime before it gets cleared away by Stretch. And Tormenta wanting a throw, but officials give it a corner. We saw Tormenta with the corner to take the tie. We saw Charlotte take a corner to open the scoring. Is it going to take a corner to finally break through? 90+6. Shear on the corner in a 1-1 game. 90+6, we're at 97. Shear elevates up and out, but another corner for Charlotte, and that will end regulation. Charlotte trying to argue they deserve another corner because of the deflection, but officiating crews say otherwise. We are headed to a shootout. We will take a quick break, and when we come back, we will come back for the penalty shootout between Charlotte and Tormenta.
Hi, I'm Michelle Smith-Lang from Kids World Learning Center here in Statesboro, Georgia. Let us take care of all of your child care needs here at Kids World Learning Center, from your infants all the way to your after-schoolers. We also have a summer camp and holiday camp for those older children. And we have our brand new bus for our field trips, for the children to have fun and to learn and to explore new things all around our beautiful county. Thank you for trusting us with your most prized possessions.
My life before surgery was limited. A lot of times my husband would say, why don't you sit this one out and you stay home?
This procedure is groundbreaking because we're able to provide patients who have chronic low back pain with long-term, sometimes even permanent relief of their pain.
Normal people that don't have back pain don't understand what it is like to be so debilitated with leg pain and lower back pain.
I need to try it first.
Jägermeister is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the inaugural USL Jägermeister Cup. Take a shot at glory and celebrate the magic of this exciting new tournament all year long. And please drink responsibly. 90 minutes decided nothing. 1 goal apiece between Tormenta and Charlotte. And with the slew of opportunities and stoppage time, neither were able to break through able to provide goal number 2 as we're knotted up at 1 after 90. How did we get here? Well, it was all on the corner kicks. To start things off in the 8th minute, Luis Alvarez for Juan Carlos Obregon in only the 8th minute as he was unable to, as Jackson Coy was unable to get the mark on that one, so Obregon was able to get his 4th goal in a Charlotte uniform, and then in the 90+3 off of a Mason Tunbridge feed-in, Sebastian Vivas just knocks that one in with the header and essentially ties this game up to crash Charlotte's hopes. And it was just right on the money for Mason Tunbridge, as that was unable to be saved by Austin Pack. And it's essentially come down to this. The truest 1v1 in all of sports. The shootout, whether it be hockey or soccer, it's the only true 1v1 you'll see in sports. As both sides take the halfway line, it's nothing but shooter and goaltender. And the dot. 12 yards from the goal line. Carlton Belmar will start things off. He is 1 for 1 in his entire career in the PK with the Sacramento Republic. Carlton Belmar in for Parker. Belmar scores easily. A nice simple roller up the middle. Nothing fancy. Just keep it nice and simple. Parker kind of got it initially in that stutter step, but Parker went right, as did Belmar. Too bad the rights are opposite of each other. And now Austin Pack will take his first opportunity as he has to face Pedro Fonseca. He scored a penalty kick versus Lexington. He drew that penalty and scored it in regulation. In his League One career, he has scored twice on 2 attempts on the penalty kicks. Fonseca versus Pack to draw level. in round one. Fonseca, we're even at 1. 1-1 across the board. I'd say something about Pedro Fonseca, but it would just be a repeat of what I said for Carlton Belmar. Shooter number 2 comes up for the Independents. It's Nick Spielman. Spielman was 2 for 2 in his penalty attempts in the Open Cup. Can he beat Ford Parker? Charlotte has gone to the penalty shootout twice in the Open Cup. This is the 3rd time they've done so in 2024. Nick Spielman just barely beats out Parker. They both went to Parker's right, but Parker unable to get enough on that jump. And that one is just slotted in just inside of the post by Nick Spielman to beat Ford Parker. And South Georgia Tormenta in their first penalty shootout of the 2024 season. As number 2 will be taken by Ajmir Spangler, has yet to score a goal in his professional League One career. Spangler scores! Essentially rinse and repeat from what Fonseca did. Pack went right, as did Spangler. And it appears that Noah Pilato will take the 3rd penalty for Charlotte Independence. Noah Pilato to take penalty number 3. He hasn't scored in 2024, but he has 6 goals to his name in the USL League One. Taking on Ford Parker. And another one drilled right down the middle. It's 3-2 at the top of the 3rd. That one actually rolled right before Pilato took the kick, but nonetheless, Ford Parker committing to that right side. And Pilato maybe knew that one, so he just drilled it right down the center. As we go to the second shot of round 3, Niall Watson will take the dot. Has 2 goals in his professional League One career that ties Tormenta's team lead. Watson versus Pack. Watson scores again. Copy and paste. Austin Pack has seen Fonseca, Spangler, and now Watson the exact same way to think if you're Austin Pack. They've all gone to his left, the shooter's right. He's gone to his right. And now Joel Johnson will take over. Joel Johnson has not taken a penalty in the U.S. Open Cup. This is his first chance in 2024. He has not taken one in his entire professional career. Johnson goes left, and Parker tries to change things up, but he gets beaten for a 4th time. Just smashed into the left side. This time Parker goes to his left, and that one goes unsuccessfully for the goalkeeper from Albuquerque. But another substitution goes for a PK. 23-year-old from the University of San Diego, Mason Tunbridge. He's got 1 goal in his game, and that was the one to force the 2-goal lead against the Richmond Kickers. He has to draw level here to keep Tormenta's hopes alive. Tunbridge. Right, straight to the left, while Pack does the same. Neither Pack or Parker have been able to get a good read on it. Every single time that Parker and Pack have attempted a PK. The shot just happens to go the opposite direction. Bashir and Jai will take the 5th kick for Charlotte and can either put the pressure on Tormenta or put the pressure on Austin Pack. And Jai easily scores once again. And Jai has not scored in his League One career, but he gets that one to go. And now the 5th shooter for Tormenta. It goes for the substitution, Joshua Ramos. He has not scored in his League One career, as this is his first pro season. Austin Pack made 2 saves versus South Carolina and 2 saves versus Rhode Island. Can he come up? Or does Ramos extend? Stop by Pack! Austin Pack with the save on the 5th PK! And Charlotte takes the opening game of the Jägermeister Cup. Every single penalty, the goalkeeper has gone the wrong direction, or they have been beat straight up. Parker, Austin Pack read that one like a book. And Joshua Ramos gets stopped by the reigning goalkeeper of the year and first team All League One. Austin Pack, he saved 2 PKs versus South Carolina Heat and against Rhode Island in the US Open Cup. Those 2 stops versus Rhode Island came in round 5 to extend the PK and in round 7 to seal it, as he stopped again on round 5. And Austin Pack in the 5th round once more sends Charlotte into the win column, putting them at only 1 loss the entire season. As we take a look at the save of the match, that one's just gonna be a long-range shot from Spangler, but it gets held off by Austin Pack, and another opportunity for South Georgia Tormenta gets centered up. Spangler with a spinorama shot, and Pack had to come up big once again. That was our save of the match, presented by Vision Source. As we take a look at the teams exiting the pitch, Charlotte will come back home before heading to Central Valley and Atlanta. And South Georgia Tormenta, they have a 3-game road trip upcoming before playing Greenville in a rematch on the 11th in the League One Cup. It's 0-0, and Charlotte Independence takes this one in penalties by a score of 4-5 in PKs. Statesboro, Georgia was the spot for the first match of the Jägermeister Cup. It took penalties. They were introduced, and it's what they took. After 90 minutes, nothing was decided, and an Austin Pack save sends this one home. That's it for all of us in our ESPN Plus crew. My name is Ryan Lee. Thank you for joining us. Have a great night.